Hi you guys, welcome to today's video. I am going to be doing a half highlight. You guys have seen me do this a million times, so I thought in today's video, instead of showing you that whole process, I'm gonna show you the toning process from beginning to end for what I do for pretty much every blonde. It also varies depending on their hair, the tone they want, but for the most part, I do a similar technique for everyone. So I'm gonna show you a typical root shadow and tone and finished product for this blonde client. So if you wanna see this, stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so this is our before. She comes about every 8 to 10 weeks for highlights, so this is just grown out. We are going to be refreshing her up today, and this is what we are using to tone. So we have 9NB, 9V, 9P for the ends, and 7N, 7NA for the root. This is one of my favorite go-tos for something like this, where it's a soft root shadow, and it's a bright blonde, but it's kind of creamier, a little more beige, and not so ashy. So the first step after highlights is to wash out the lightener, and then we always apply Olaplex or a conditioner mids to ends, sit her up at the bowl, brush her out, and put her down the center. So that is what we are doing right here, and now I am going to go in and do the root shadow. I know that when you're first doing hair, a lot of times it can be so scary to do a root shadow, a root smudge, a root tap, no matter what the technique is. It seems kind of weird to go in and cover the highlights, right? Totally get it. I was the same way, super scared when I first started. But the purpose of this is to just softly shadow the base. It's going to give your client a really natural grow out. It's going to help it blend a little bit better when their natural starts to come in. It gives them longevity with their color, and it just softens the look overall and makes it look more expensive. A shadow is only brought down about an inch, maybe 2, and it's just a soft shadow, kind of like the name, whereas a root tap is just a gentle tap that keeps it super bright and not noticeable that you did anything, and then a root smudge is a little more prolonged. I'm going to do an in-depth video on the difference between all three, but I would say that a shadow is what I do on 90% of my clients, especially my blonde ones. So I am doing that same thing over here. It's always important to have a comb or a brush that you trust to brush through, comb through the hair at the bowl, and keep everything really clean, nice and tidy. As you can see, I'm working through the interior of the hair. When you're doing a shadow like this, you really only need to go and touch where you highlighted. So I'm just kind of going through the perimeter and the inside, everywhere that I did that half highlight, but I'm leaving those money pieces out. You can see that those pieces are extra blonde in the front, and we are keeping those away just so that we can make sure that they stay really bright and that they stand out. So I am using Goldwell Colorants for this. I would say Goldwell Colorants and Redken Shades EQ are both of my go-to toning lines. If I could just have those two forever, I would be totally fine. They both have really great options, and I love doing Goldwell for the root because it has a little more coverage and it's very true to tone for the most part. And then Shades is best for the mids to ends because they do have more options as far as levels and tones go, and I feel like it's a little more customizable. When it comes to toning for roots, I typically leave them on anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes depending on the look and the technique I'm going for. And with the end toner, I always watch it. I don't feel like there's a set amount of time. My rule of thumb is never walk away from a toner. You have to watch it really closely. After I do everything but the hairline, I lean her back to the bowl and I just gently tap the hairline. This is more of a tap like we talked about before. It's just going to be very subtle, and this is going to keep that hairline really bright. I comb it through to make sure everything's blending okay, and then as you can see, I rinse it out right away. So sometimes I will just rinse it out immediately, or I'll just wait till the very end to do this step. And now I am toning the mids to ends. Sometimes I will do a mid toner differently than the end toner, but she lifted really evenly and I just want kind of like an all over beigey soft bright blonde, so I am just doing it everywhere. I'm actually leaving the root on and I'm just mixing everything together. It's your choice if you want to leave the root on or rinse it out. A lot of times with a shadow or a smudge I'll leave it on, and then with a tap I will rinse it out. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and the few toning tips I gave you. Let me know if you would like more videos like this in the future. I'm so obsessed with how her hair turned out, and I hope you guys are too.